afternoon, and thank you all for joining me and actually us at our 21st annual summit event. Appreciate it's the graveyard shift. There will be beers and wine afterwards, so maybe worthwhile sticking around. I can actually remember our first event at the top of the BT Tower, which gives an idea of how long I've been involved at Britannic, but that's another story. I'm Jason. I head up customer experience and success at Britannic, which encompasses a number of areas. Today I'm going to be focused on the customer experience side and ways we like working together with yourselves. I'm going to talk briefly about our success program, which we use to take a deep dive and put ourselves into your shoes, understand your working practices, see what works well, and what could do with improvement, as well as any areas that cause you issues, as well as gaining insights into any interactions your customers are having with your organization via a service that we call Analytical Insights. Really annoying. We came up with that a couple of years ago, and now AI is absolutely massive. So we may need to work on that. Hopefully it's shone through to our customers over the years, and today those of you who are new to us, but we do strongly adhere to our values. Our objective is to build trust by collaborating with customers in true partnership style, to build innovative solutions which allow your businesses to excel. These are the 5 values we do live by. Jonathan's probably mentioned them a fair few times today, but it is something that is drilled into us, and we really want to work more as a partnership rather than a typical supplier-customer model. As is often the way, I thought we'd start with a few stats to help show why we feel the analytical insight piece is of such importance and why people are undertaking the journey with us. Some of the key reasons include enhancing customer experiences by gaining insights into customer behavior and preferences should enable you to streamline the customer journey and make sure you're offering a true omni-channel journey. To assist with decision making, the analytics will equip yourselves with objective insights, allowing for more accurate, data-informed decisions that reduce risks and improve outcomes. We look to make recommendations around increasing operational efficiencies. We ran this for a housing association recently. Luckily, Gil didn't steal my thunder. He kept mentioning certain people who've done it for him. I was like, oh, he's going to get it. But he didn't, to be fair, so thank you, Gil. We ran it for a housing association. And around 20% of the emails coming into their service team were all around that they had a portal they weren't able to access, the users weren't able to access the portal. Ironically enough, the forgotten password button wasn't working. So it's not something that we could actually fix, but obviously we highlighted that to them. They made the fixes. I'm definitely not a developer, but it was quite straightforward for them. And then we basically ran the insight piece 3 months later. And that number was down from about just under 20% down to about 4. And a lot of the times it was because it's in the clutter and the spam, so that helped them out. I'm absolutely petrified the water is going to slide off the lectern, so I'm going to put it down very gently. It's a steep angle up here, gents and ladies. We're now going to look at where this sort of piece fits in at Britannic, which is into our success program. Mouse here. So one of the questions that we often ask during the success program to the sort of people we're going through the program through with is how do you review and make decisions around the customer experience that you're offering? Typical responses, and it's fairly common, is this is not working, sorry, we're going to freestyle it. Oh, sugar. I do apologise. There we go. Typical responses around sort of automated surveys are very hot. Taking employee feedback, which is often underlooked, very useful. Quality assuring 1 to 5% in interactions, and also reacting to complaints. But how do you make truly data-driven decisions? So we provide a free of charge service that aims to provide visibility of a broad range of interactions, not just listening to those noisy ones, but picking up the silent majority which sit in the middle, meaning you hear more about the minor frustrations and successes rather than focusing on the large blow-ups. Imagine having a view of a much larger subset of interactions and truly understanding the experience that you're offering to your customers. We work with you to analyse the data, we produce an output report, or we include it in our summaries and our write-ups, which aims to uncover the reasons for contact. And then we can look to either confirm or rebuke any preconceptions that you and we may have had. We have a number of tools that we can use depending upon the data type, which with human interaction will help us in compiling that report. I know you've heard a lot about the traditional AI side of things today, and I was quite interested how the debate panel went. I wasn't too sure if they're going to say AI is the absolute future and everyone needs to be doing it, but I'm not going to stand here and say that this program is sort of purely led by AI. This is a lot of sort of human interaction from our side. So typically we recommend running around 1,000, 2,000 interactions through the tool to begin with. I gave you a sneak peek of that earlier, so we're back on track, ladies and gents. At Britannic, everything we do is driven by one central focus, and that's customer success. Jonathan alluded to it earlier. We've been in business since 1984, so 40 years of experience. It's allowed us to hone our processes, understand what works and also what doesn't work so well. Through our customer success program, our number one aim is to deliver solutions that truly make a difference. We all know that technology is only as good as the outcomes it delivers. That's why we believe really, I keep saying it, but in true partnerships. Our focus isn't just on achieving a successful go live, but ensuring continued success for years to come. Our approach is simple. If we say the technology will do something, we make sure it does. Every project that is delivered is reviewed against internal KPIs, as well as success criteria that we define right in the beginning of that process. We define what success looks like from the outset, measure it through those KPIs, and work tirelessly to meet and exceed those goals. Your success is our success, and we don't stop until you get there. The above diagram shows the 5 key steps within the program. There's 9, there's 4 behind the scenes, so we can skip 4 of those out. Discovery is early on. Initial contact and often the first on-site meeting. To work with a number of stakeholders, we spend time understanding your strategy, direction, and vision. The next phase is the diagnostics phase. It's a deeper dive into working practices. We spend time with users across the organization, and this is where we look to run the AI analytical insights piece. We look to formalize the success metrics here, which are tracked right through until after completion. I know I've mentioned that before, but it is a key element, and we understand that following a technical delivery of a project, there's often a lag before all the objectives can be fully realized. So even though the project's been signed off, we remain engaged to ensure the success criteria has been hit. The playback phase is when we read back our understanding and present our findings with suggestions and recommendations around the next steps. The design phase, we potentially look at providing a demo or a proof of concept. We aren't tied to any vendors. You've seen multiple here, and we truly want what's best for yourselves. So working with the various vendors, we'd show you how we could hit those success criteria and also what it will look and feel like for those using the solution. And then finally, if applicable, we provide a solution proposal, which is mapped back to the success criteria, includes deployment strategy, high-level design, pricing, and phasing. And then the analytical insight piece fits in that diagnostic phase. The diagnostic phase is completed once we understand the strategic objectives for a potential project. It allows us to get under the hood of the organization, appreciate the working practices of key stakeholders across the organization, and better inform our recommendations using real-world examples. Our objective in this phase is to be able to deliver insights which strategic decision makers may or may not be aware of, and give us the opportunity to deliver thought leadership, ultimately positioning Britannic, we would hope, as your best consultative partner to work on this project and beyond. We believe there's a great deal of value in face-to-face meetings at this stage. It makes the engagement more natural, affords greater relationship building, and shows a commitment both from ourselves and yourselves. Through questioning, we learn a great deal, and hopefully at that point you'd learn more about us. And when relevant, not be afraid of challenging us and vice versa. This is a much deeper process-led conversation where we look to have a team of Britannic involved, looking at setting up focus groups, one-on-one interviews, spending time with advisors, not agents, and gathering data to run through the insight tool. Following the diagnostic phase, we use the information we've gathered as well as via the insights and present the findings and any draft proposals if applicable. One of James's, he is still here, cool. One of James's favourite quote, he's our sales manager who I'll be passing on to shortly, is everything is non-negotiable apart from the price. The requirements, the success criteria, technology capabilities are non-negotiable. Everything else we can fix. Are you happy I got that in there? Yeah, okay. So starting the journey, what do we need to start the analytical side of things? Really, it is just data. Out of the box, we can do an analysis on customers' Trustpilot reviews or Google review sites. Nothing else is needed. Obviously, the more reviews you have, the better. We ran this for a council, and we actually sort of contacted them midway through the program because they weren't paying attention to their Trustpilot site, and there was multiple mentions of self-harm, mental issues, mental breakdowns, even suicide, and not even worse, but they'd also mentioned, so within those reviews, they'd mentioned staff members that they've been talking to, names, phone numbers, email addresses. So we sort of straight away said, look, you've got to contact Trustpilot. They won't remove the reviews, but they'll certainly redact the personal information. So no one was keeping an eye on that. Other sorts of data works really well is exports from CRM systems. So we use Dynamics 365 in the office. We use this tool in-house. Emails, another key one. So emails into certain inboxes. I'm not a techie. I thought it'd be really easy to ask IT to pull out all the emails to certain service and sales inboxes. You're probably far more technical than I am. It's not that straightforward, but we've created a guide, a lengthy guide, but even some non-technical people have been able to get through that. So the emails is a great start as well. An SMS, WhatsApp, if we provide those services or you can export them in any form, we can run that into the data. The process. So following the importation of the data, we work with a tool that produces a couple of simple images, word maps, graphs, showing key phrases. By viewing these, it allows us to begin the semi-manual process of creating the topics, which the system then, with our help, starts organizing the data sets into. We then drill down further into the topics, and that's the most time-intensive part. Even with 1,000, 2,000 records or so, it's about half a day to create the topics, and then a couple more days on refinement. The platform then that's when the real AI comes in. It starts doing some clever stuff. It groups the topics nicely for us to gain the insights. And then finally, we're then really able to delve into that data to see where topics overlap, search on topics. It highlights any positive and negative intents, any times where a certain business function has been named or product, service, and then we follow it down the rabbit hole. All of that data is then put back into a report or used during the playback step. I've made it through without spilling the water, so we're safe now. The AI-driven analytics provide several benefits in customer success, including improved efficiencies, reducing costs, increasing customer satisfaction, and improved revenue growth. By using the analytics, we can deliver better outcomes for our customers and drive long-term business growth. We also look to use this not as a one-off. I mentioned it earlier. We always sort of rerun it after the project's signed off or after we've done this to see if the improvements are taking effect. The analytics can help automate routine tasks or identify where we could automate those tasks, allowing customer success teams to focus on more strategic initiatives and improve overall efficiency. It can help optimize operations and reduce costs, allowing businesses to provide better value to their customers. And most importantly for me, to be fair, it helps identify customers' needs and deliver personalized solutions, resulting in improved customer satisfaction. I think we're almost done. In summary, we'd be absolutely more than happy to work with you to begin the journey. I know there's data being talked about here. We've got the NDA forms, we've got the compliance officers all signed up and ready to go. So really all we need is the data, and we try and keep it low touch for yourselves. And we genuinely enjoy doing it in terms of work. We've tried to make it as simple and straightforward for you as possible. Once we have the data, it's over to us. It is a free of charge service. I'm the least salesperson you'll ever meet. We use the service to aid us as well as yourselves by providing you hopefully interesting insights. And from running these highlights, running these services, one of the absolute highlights, and this isn't me making it up, was one customer saying, look, we'd love to start on the journey with yourselves, but we don't think we could afford it. And that relationship is still going strong. We're looking forward to help you know more about your business, to make valuable decisions, and hopefully, I'm not going to lie, in partnership with us. Thank you again. Appreciate it's late. If you've got any questions, I'll be in the bar shortly. And now I'll hand over to our headliner, James.